on the ayes. I call this meeting to order at 1:09 p.m. Secretary, we can call the roll.
Nathan Scott,
Here.
Ariana Reed,
Here.
Jashida Golden, here, Connor Peters,
Here.
here, Connor Busick,
Here.
Luke Armstrong,
Here.
Darby Hay, Eli Trimmer,
Here.
Maria Mills,
Here.
Nick Schultz,
Here.
Heather Mills, Peggy Toy, Peggy Toy,
Nope. Here. Computer's being messy.
Seth Nidell,
Here.
Charles Anderson, Clark Thomas,
Here.
Brett Shanks,
Here.
Jonathan Dishman,
Here.
Kay Cortez, and Mickey Pulliam.
All right, we do need quorum. So we'll have the adoption of the minutes. Without objection, those get adopted. And then we'll have the adoption of the agenda. Without objection, it gets adopted. Okay, and then we'll move on to committee reports, Eli Trimmer Capital Project.
At this time, I'm still waiting to hear back from some wacky little people. So I have nothing to report until I hear back and can give you word on some of these projects I'm working on. But I have no green light until I can get some word back from them, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Senator Trimmer? All right, we'll move on to Mickey Pulliam, ADA Committee.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, are there any questions? I assume not. Okay, we'll move on to Brett Shanks, Health and Safety Committee.
Hello. We didn't have a meeting last week due to I had nursing training, but we did get some COVID rules put in place for the movie night. Just kind of throw out some ideas and down from the CDC website, and I believe we have already sent them to Luke. If not, Luke, let us know and we'll get them sent to you. Other than that, we will have a meeting, pretty short meeting after Senate, kind of go over all the rules we came up for the movie night. Other than that, that'll be it.
Okay. Are there any questions for Senator Shanks? All right, we'll move on to Hannah Berry, Student Governor.
I have a few things to report. I met with admissions team again on Wednesday, kind of in follow-up to our open discussion from last week. And they appreciated all of the ideas that were shared, or enforced, depending on how you look at it. But they definitely want to partner with us to do banners on the light poles, if that is an option. And I texted Eli Trimmer about it, but I haven't received anything back. I just texted him at 1:08, so it's fine.
I am so sorry, Hannah. I'm also in the middle of an organic chemistry midterm. I have not been able to check my phone.
No, you're fine.
But you are more than welcome. We are arms wide open. We are a community.
We love to hear it. Good luck on your midterm.
Thank you so much.
And they said also that Dr. Jones' wife, with the school business, does some like signage work in the city of St. Joseph, and that she would be a good resource that maybe you could, work out some type of deal with, which is exciting because that might come sooner rather than later. I thought I had another thing. but on Wednesday this week, we began the Griff's Give Gratitude Initiative, and we recognized the physical plant as our first culprit, I guess, for their wonderful work they do to keep students safe and to keep our campus looking beautified. And so they received a couple dozen cookies and a painting and thank you note from SGA and the student governor. And you all should have received an email from me, which is a Give Gratitude nomination form. We're doing this bi-weekly, so not next week, but the week after we'll have another one. So please submit some nominations. It's departments that have been influential to you, or there's also a spot to reference specific faculty members if you want to send a message from SGA or yourself as a student. Trying to spread the love in this wonderful, dreary time.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Are there any questions for Governor Berry? All right, we'll move on to Sean Peters, Director of Finance.
So the thing I have to report is this week FOC approved the Catholic Movement Center $1,750 to have their Hussey Brothers concert event, which will be October 23rd, if I recall. That's all I have to report.
Who did you say?
The Catholic Movement Center.
Kathleen.
Newman.
Newman. Thank you. Are there any questions for Director Peters? All right, we'll move on to Connor Peters, Director of Public Relations and Marketing.
Hey guys, so as Student Governor Hannah Berry had just said, we did the initiative this week where we ran some cookies and a painting to physical plant. And so I'm finishing up some branding for that. We did get some photos while we did that. And so that will be posted here in the next several days once the branding is completed. The e-board directory photos are updated on the SGA website if you'd like to check them out there. I put out another recruitment message on the Griffin Post last week to hopefully drive more people to SGA. I held my first public relations and marketing committee meeting this week, and it looks like the tentative meeting time is going to be Mondays at 3:20. So if you're interested in joining, definitely let me know, or if you are aware of anyone who could be interested, definitely point them my way. I made a post on the final day to register to vote for the presidential election in Missouri on our social media platforms, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And then at the request of Director Armstrong, I promoted the Student Honors Organization food drive going on. And also in that same area, our first Griffs in the Community feature was posted yesterday. So we posted the results of the school supply drive along with some photos and an animation of the donated items. So that was really cool, and we got lots of interaction on that. And then finally, yesterday, I talked with Jessica Froge about getting rally towels for the live stream that we're hoping to host at Spratt. And so probably an hour ago, I emailed purchasing. And so I'm in the middle of that process, but we're hoping to get some rally towels to give out then and then give out throughout the rest of the school year. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Director Peters?
Thank you. That's a lot of stuff in 1 week. You're on top of it.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to Luke Armstrong, Director of Griff's Feedback.
Hey everyone. So this week I was kind of working on a project that hopefully next week it'll all be approved so I can enlighten you guys a little bit more about it. But I was mostly working on that, and I'm hoping by next week to bring the school supplies to the schools. and yeah, we helped promote the show Food Drive, which is at High B all Thursdays going forward of this month. So if you're interested in that, please go help them. And yeah, that's really all I have to report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Director Armstrong? Okay, we'll move on to Carter Music, Director of External Relations.
Last night, while I was meeting with Nathan and Ariana and Hannah, I pitched them the idea for our first online external relations event, and they all went along with it. So today I will be making some calls to see about a guest speaker. I'll give more details after more details have been confirmed, but we're at least looking forward to at least one event between now and November 3rd that will be voter related and will fulfill our All in Democracy Challenge statement that we made to the challenge at the start of the year. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Director Music? All right, we'll move on to Deshara Bolden, Director of Student Involvement.
Hi, everybody. I don't have too much to report. This week we did have PLC, and I feel like it was a really good, productive PLC meeting. Basically, the presidents got the opportunity to break off and brainstorm some ideas to get students involved next semester and, kind of get us sort of used to COVID. But basically, that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Director Bolden? All right, we'll move on to my report. Nathan, Hannah, and I just concluded our evaluation process, talking to directors about our overall achievements so far. I think those turned out really well, and we'll be sending out some follow-ups, some information about changes to policies or just stuff in general that were the product of those evaluations. And let's see. Oh, I'm still working on getting students who wanted to be senators, getting them kind of transitioned in. And yeah, that's all I have to report. Are there any questions for me? Okay, we'll move on to the president's report.
How's it going, everyone? So this has been a fairly productive week. Of course, we're still waiting to consider the legislation today, and then that will allow us to start working on some other projects soon after we get this approved today. As Vice President Reed had mentioned, we did our 360 evaluations, as I talked about in previous Senate meetings. I feel that they were very productive in conversations with our directors. They seem to have really appreciated the feedback and being able to kind of, find how we can professionally develop ourselves to be better every day. And so I'm excited to look through the data and figure out what we need to do to make us more effective as a team. And I think we have definitely some good strategies moving forward. Besides that, I want to give a huge shout out to our advisor, Dr. Hannah Bielski, for staying after way later than she's ever been required to. So I just want to say thank you to Dr. Hannah Bielski for her work, and to, of course, our whole team for being involved in that and working with that. So yeah, that's basically what I got for today. I'm excited to hopefully see this legislation passed today, and go Griffs.
Thank you. Are there any questions for President Scott?
Just a point of clarification, I don't mind staying late.
But it is appreciated.
Thanks. Barley really, having Barley here, he's the one that is really the one sacrificing. So, thanks to Barley.
All right, then we'll move on to unfinished business. Senate Bill Fiscal Year 21-14, the Financial Freedom Reform Act. An MWSU Senate bill to approve reforms to FOC policy, whereas under the directive of President Scott and Vice President Reed, the FOC has extensively reviewed its funding policies to find areas for improvement And whereas the FOC has spent over 6 months identifying, drafting, and litigating these proposed reforms, whereas the FOC and President Scott strongly believe these changes will bring immensely positive change to SGA's efforts to serve student organizations, and whereas these reforms will provide more freedom for RSOs to utilize their resources and open new avenues for student engagement, and whereas the Student Government Association strongly affirms the necessity to invest in our students and campus culture, especially in the challenging era we presently reside within. Therefore, we, the Student Government Association of Missouri Western State University, hereby enact to amend the appropriations supply guidelines to reflect attachment 1, amend the FOC appropriations funding policy to reflect attachment 2, amend the FOC co-sponsorship funding policy to reflect attachment 3, amend the FOC travel funding policy to reflect attachment 4, and amend the Article 5 of the SGA bylaws to reflect attachment 5. Therefore, let it be finally enacted that a copy of this bill be sent to Nathan Scott, SGA President, Hannah Pionsky, Dean of Students, and Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy, University President, for signature. We'll have a sponsorship speech by Senator McCoy.
Right, so like the presentation given last week, these are things that we worked on for a bit. There are things that we saw that could use improvements, and it's taken us a whole lot of time, and I hope it passes, and I'll relinquish some of my time to Nathan Scott.
Hello, everyone. I'm not going to give the full presentation I did last time. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I think that this is very positive, and Sean wasn't here last time, so I'm actually going to want to yield my time that was yielded by Senator McCoy to Sean to see if Sean has anything to say about the legislation.
So I guess when I wasn't here last week, but I assume we talked about all the changes and specifically what they're doing. Basically, we feel that these changes are really going to improve the FOC system or funding application system. It will benefit students, like for instance, making all the deadline dates consistent across the board. And yeah, we think these will just overall help the student experience. So,
And yeah, that's all I got to say. So I'll pass it back over to Senator McCoy.
All right, and I pass back.
All right. Are there any speeches of affirmation?
I got one. I just kind of agree with everyone. Overall, it gives a lot more simplicity to students and allows for a lot easier access to the funds that they're given. So I full support all the way.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Senator Shea? Okay. Are there any speeches of negation? All right. Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion to previous question.
Motion to previous question.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Secretary Reed, can you please call the roll?
We're starting with Eli Trimmer. Okay, we're gonna circle back. Maria Mills.
Aye.
Nick Schultz.
Did you say Nick? I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
You're fine. Kate McCoy.
Aye.
Seth Nidell.
Aye.
Clark Thomas.
Did you say my name?
Yes.
Aye. Sorry.
Brett Shanks.
Aye.
Jonathan Dishman.
Aye.
And Nikki Cooley. Eli Trimmer. Eli Trimmer.
Aye.
All right, that does indeed pass. We look forward to seeing those changes be implemented well and hopefully be beneficial. All right, I believe we're on to open discussion. So does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about?
I won't berate anybody this week.
Noted. Okay, are there any announcements?
I mean, I said it last week, but the board of governors meeting is on October 22nd. It's available if you'd like to zoom in and listen to it. 1:30.
Are there any questions on that? Okay, well, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you,
Take care.
everyone.